I guarantee that in multiple times during your life, somebody has asked you what your goals are. Whether it's your friends, your family, your coworkers, we're always being asked, what's the next step in our life? And if you're anything like the past me, that question can be very overwhelming and you typically give a response. You feel that other people would respect you more based on what you're saying your goals are. But the more that I went through life and realized that a lot of the goals and things that I wanted to strive for didn't align with other people around me, I started diving a little bit deeper into how I can understand a better method for setting my own goals and achieving them. There's a quote I really like called "The separation is in the preparation." And when I would think about my goals, I would immediately word vomit out different things that I thought I wanted in my life, rather than taking an introspective approach and really sitting down and diving deep into what it even means to be alive, why am I here on earth, and who do I want to spend most of my time with as I get older. So in today's video, I'm gonna break down what I do for goal setting and how I believe it could be helpful for anybody else out there that is looking to own the life that they live and go about setting goals that are gonna help them go down a path that is unique to them. When thinking about goals, there's a great James Clear quote that says, "We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems." And what that means is you can set as many goals as you want, but if you have no system to actually help you achieve them, many times those goals might fall by the wayside and you might find yourself to continually be on a spinning wheel of what is it that I'm trying to do in my life and where am I going? When I think about that quote, the first system I need to implement is the system of my goals. And that's where I've broken it down into 1, mission, 2, anti-goals, 3, the T.H.R.I.V.E acronym, and then 4, the AAA, awareness, action, accountability. The reason that I break it down this way is because what is the point of having any goals if you don't have a mission in life? Why are you here on earth? What is your purpose for living? How do you plan to live through your purpose? These are all questions that I started asking myself before I even set any goals. So if you're watching this video right now, a good starting point would be to read the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek and really dive deep into your internal psyche of why you believe you're here on earth in the first place. That's going to help you in the next step, which is your anti-goals. If you understand more about who you are, you're going to be able to reflect back on your life. So think back about your past. What did you not enjoy? What were some of the things that you didn't like to do on a daily basis? What hindered your peace and caused you to be less happy and fulfilled than you believe you should have been? So if I were to just quickly bullet out a list for myself, when I think about my past, it's long meetings, sitting too much during the day, I'm inside all day, I was bossed around by people that I didn't really look up to, it lacked fun and enjoyment, and it caused me to have a lack of sleep and health. So when I think about the list of all the things that I didn't enjoy about some of the scenarios in my past, I then am able to make an anti-goals list where I write down for myself, no meetings more than 30 minutes, no sitting longer than 2 hours, no being inside longer than 4-hour increments, don't work for other people, only work with other people. If it is all work and no play, I say no to it. And if it requires me to lack sleep or not focus on my health, it's a hard no. I got this anti-goals method from a blog post from Andrew Wilkinson back in 2017. And I found this to be vital because when I look at life, especially for high achievers, the better you get at the things you're doing, the more that's gonna get thrown on your plate, and just by nature, you're gonna become busier. If you become busier, you're then gonna be distracted by what your true goals are, unless you have some type of anti-goals list, which you're then going to be able to say no to things and deflect the things that are gonna hinder you from achieving the goals that you have set for yourself. So after you've thought through your mission, and then you've made a list of your anti-goals, we're then gonna jump into the T.H.R.I.V.E acronym, which is something that I created just to help myself, but I believe it can be helpful for other people. It's time, health, relationships, income, vision, and experiences. The reason that I created this was I was looking for a framework to enter each and every day in a way where I could maximize my time, my health, my relationships, my income, and then fulfill the vision and experiences that I have for my particular life. The cool thing about this is anybody else can do the same thing. So when you think of time, how do you want to spend your time? Not just now, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 25 years from now. Right now, I have a beautiful wife and we're preparing to have our first child. So my life right now is going to look much different when he's 1 year old or 5 years old or 10 years old. I need to be able to think through, how do I want to spend my time when he's 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old? The work to achieve that starts right now. And if I don't think through that right now, I'm just leaving it up to chance, and I don't want to do that. So when I start thinking about my health, this is where I start thinking of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based. If you don't think about specific goals that you have for yourself that you can actually measure and attain, and they're relevant to how you want to spend your time, then you're far less likely to achieve them. So if we're thinking of me, when I think of my health, specific, measurable, attainable, I'm thinking of, okay, later this year, I want to run an ultra marathon. So I put that on my list. What can I do to help myself improve my chances of running that ultra marathon and feeling good doing so? So I want to increase my HRV by 5 points. I want to make sure that my inflammation goes down. So then I'm going to get in the sauna 5 to 7 days a week, in the ice 5 to 7 days a week. I'm gonna run 100 miles a month. So you start seeing that when you have these health goals, if you're creating SMART goals at the higher end, you then can create SMART goals with everything that you need to do to break them down and achieve them. Now this falls in line with your relationships, income, vision, and experiences as well. So as you're thinking through these different things, I want you to be thinking SMART. When it comes to relationships, your friends, your family, significant others, your business, how do you want to spend your time with them? So a SMART goal for me would be, I want to call my mom, dad, my brother at least once a week. I want to go on a date with my wife at least once a week. With my business partners, I want to have a cadence of calls where I'm not just talking business with them, but I'm building a better relationship with them. So maybe once a quarter we go out and do something really fun that we wouldn't normally do. So we go on a boat trip, we go to Topgolf, we play paintball. We do things just to build that better relationship rather than just talking about business all day. The next thing is income. Now what most people do is they sacrifice their time, their health, and their relationships to produce an income. I don't want you to do that. I want you to focus on these top 3 first, and then we're gonna break it down into the income. So for income, how much money will you need to live a life where you can spend the time in the way that you want to, have the health that you want, and build the relationships that you want? So you see, you can't answer this income question until you know these top 3. Versus if you're like me in my past, I went to engineering school because I wanted the income. I didn't necessarily think about how, is spending time in an engineering office the way that I want to spend my time all day? What type of impact on my health is that going to have? And what kind of relationships am I going to have? Are those the types of people that I want to be hanging around every single day? Now, in some cases, yes, and in other cases, no. What I'm thinking about is, how do I thrive on life and I optimize every single day? So when you think about that, here's where it's breaking down to income falls after you think about how your time is being spent. What is that time gonna do to your health and your relationships? So for me, my SMART goal for income is based more around, how do I make $1,000 a month in a more passive way? So through stocks, through different business models, through affiliate associations and partnerships. That's what I'm really striving for now, because I know that I can go get a job or I can get a new project and I can lock up new streams of income. But what I'm trying to do is make my money work for me. So my SMART goal is around that. The other reason that it's around that is because that's what's going to unlock the time aspect for me. If I want freedom of time, I know that I have to focus on more passive streams. Now there's a lot of upfront work to doing that, but eventually I will get to the point where I'll have an income that frees up my time and allows me to continue to focus on my health and my relationships. The last 2 things are vision and experiences. What do you envision becoming? Who do you envision becoming? What stories do you want to be able to tell your future kids, your grandkids? These 2 things are vital to everything that we're talking about here. You're gonna reverse engineer down so that you understand who you need to be today so that you get to that person tomorrow. So in my instance, if I want to be a great husband, if I want to be a great father, if I want to be a great grandfather, I have a goal I want to run ultras with my grandkids one day. If I have that vision for my life, how do I need to show up today to make that happen? Last, the experiences. What things do I want to experience in life while I still have a beating heart and breathing lungs to do so? You need to actively think through that on a daily basis because it's gonna change as your life changes over the years. The last thing that we're gonna talk about here today when it comes to goal setting is the AAA, which is another thing that I created for myself to bring clarity in any given moment, in any given day. So now that you've thought through all of this that we've talked about, you are now aware. You have the awareness of what you want and why you want it. The next step to that is taking action based on that awareness. And this is where, going back to that James Clear quote, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our system. What type of system do you have to hold you accountable to your actions and to that newfound awareness that you have? What is holding you accountable to your actions? A lot of people have awareness. Even more so, people know the actions that they should or shouldn't be taking that are helping or hindering their life. Where they fail is they don't invest money into holding themselves accountable. So the last thing that I'm going to tell you when it comes to your goals is spend money to achieve them. Instead of just talking about them, you need to be about them. And the way that you be about them is everything that we just talked about here. You need to hire a coach, hire a consultant, join a mastermind, go on a retreat, pay for the thing that is going to hold you accountable to the actions, to showing up as your best you. And that is the guaranteed way for you to hit any goal that you ever have for yourself. If there's one thing that you took from all of this, this is the thing that I want you to remember. I've watched so many people hit goals solely because they stopped listening to the noise in the world and started investing in themselves rather than investing in what everybody else told them they should be investing in. So spend the dollar on your best self and you'll be surprised that in the next year, how many goals you actually hit and the strides that you make on fulfilling the mission that you have set for your life.
Do you like that close, or do you want to make it closing? I think that was solid.
I think that was solid. I think we just leave it like that. In the future, it'd be like, if you like this video, I also talked about how to start with your mission, but I think that's why ending there where I talk about mission for your life, like I can then play with that later on. Yeah, and